Hello everyone and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. On today's episode, I will be talking about Naked and Afraid Devil's Canyon. Now, if you don't know, Devil's Canyon is a location where two sets of survivalists have attempted a challenge and unfortunately all four have tapped. And recently on Facebook, someone was making a post about, hey, who wants to take on Devil's Canyon? We can form a big group. And the majority of the individuals in the comments were saying, no, I want to take it on by myself. Whether or not it'll be a 14 or a 21 day challenge is yet to be determined. But for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna assume it's a 21 day challenge. And I took some of the individuals who commented on that post, plus a few I added in as sort of a safe bet, as I put my producer cap on, to rank who I believe production will want to bring back. And this is all my opinion. Please do not come for me. Please do not come for the survivalists. Please send support. And if you have a way to cast some of these individuals to take on Devil's Canyon, please help them out and cast them, because a lot of them really want to do it. And the first person I put on the list, 1A, is EJ Snyder, because he is the godfather of Naked and Afraid. He has endured many hardships on his challenge: freezing cold nights in Bulgaria, mosquitoes in the Amazon, and that time he fell off a branch and needed stitches and couldn't really have any anesthesia. So he is a very tough individual, and he said he was retiring after XL8, but he learned he had a thyroid condition and is ready for one last challenge. Now moving on to survivalist number 2, or 1B, because it's really a coin toss on who producers would choose over the other, because both Dan and EJ are really good survivalists. Dan, on his 21-day challenge, survived in the Chihuahua Desert, and he was able to kind of breeze through the challenge or not really struggle. He is very adaptable. He's able to take on these difficult challenges and make it look easy, so I think he would also be a very safe candidate for making it through a challenge. Plus, he's awesome and very charismatic. Number 2, technically, or the third survivalist overall, we have Tara, who has survived 39 days by themselves, tied for first with James for most days survived alone, and they're going to be on the new XL season, and I believe they make it all the way through, so why not keep the ball rolling and see if Tara can endure this difficult challenge, because their past challenges they've had to endure a lot, including kidney stones, getting attacked by wasps, being by themselves, and being on an XL with 40 miles in 40 days. Next, we have the pairing of Chris and Lorraine. Both really want to take on this challenge again. They've learned from their past mistakes and they are ready for another chance at redemption. Lorraine unfortunately tapped from her redemption challenge in snow days, and Chris, his fate on XL is up in the air, but he did manage to make a 21-day redemption challenge, but he really wants to go back. They both do. They're a great pair. They're great people, and Chris is very popular amongst the fans, and usually when people say, who do you want to come back, people say Chris James. Next on the list, we have Victor, who on the post talked about spending many years in the Iraqi desert, so him being in Devil's Canyon, which is a desert location, he has confidence that he will be able to make it through. And as long as he toughens up his feet and he knows what kind of plans he can have, and he's ready to go long distances for firewood and bring some fishing line to fish in the beautiful streams that they have there, I think that he has the potential to make it all the way, but it is all yet to be determined, but he'll make great TV. Next, we have the other pair of survivalists who survived in Devil's Canyon, but unfortunately tapped, Trey and Amy. In the post, they didn't comment on it, on whether or not they would like to go back, but they both have expressed wanting to go back on previous posts, and it would be great to see all the survivalists who attempted Devil's Canyon to come back, but Chris and Lorraine seem to want it a little bit more, and it would be cool to see Trey and Amy come back. Trey is also popular amongst the fans, as seen in surveys that I've posted before. Next, we have Billy. I know this might surprise a lot of people because he was just seen on season 17. People were leery of his edit. He was very confident in his edit. Some individuals said overconfident. And, you know, as a person with a producer cap on, I would say, hey, let's see him put his money where his mouth is and attempt the challenge. Not in a bad way, just, hey, you think you can do it? Let's see you attempt to do it. I think he has what it takes, but we shall see. Next, we have Andrew, who was in the Labyrinth, and he is an anthropologist, and he was very educated on different survival techniques. And I don't know his level of skill with desert survival, but I think that he can adapt really well and be able to succeed in the challenge and find food and have methods to get around the harsh environment. He's learned many techniques from indigenous tribes, but I don't know if that'll translate to a desert environment, but I think he can adapt. Next up, we have Matt, who expressed an interest in going back, and he survived 14 days and 21 days, and he is also popular amongst the fans. It would be cool to see him go in there. I know he's had difficulty catching food in the past, and that's sort of been his edit, so hopefully if he doesn't get any food, that doesn't bring him down, but as long as he tummens up his feet, knows the edible plant, maybe get some aquatic animals to consume, he'll do just fine, but it's all up in the air. Next, we have Jared, who expressed an interest in going. He was on the episode Battle of the Sexes with Cheney, Rusty, and Rebel, and successfully completed his challenge in a hot environment, but Devil's Canyon is probably hotter and probably doesn't have as much shade, so he'll need to make sure to get a good base tan to toughen up his feet, make sure to know the plants, and then, he'll be fine if he just does that, but his Wisconsin roots will probably work against him since, Wisconsin is really, really cold and Devil's Canyon is really, really hot, but I have faith that he can succeed. Next, we have Wes, who had expressed an interest in going. Wes has been on multiple challenges. He successfully completed a frozen challenge. He had the most successful hunts in XL6, but unfortunately had to tap from that challenge. And I think he would do great on the challenge, but I don't know how much more he can put his body through because recently he shared posts of what being in those environments has done to his body, including burns from the fires, so I don't want him to go through such a harsh environment. Next, we have Tim, who was on XL8, which was notorious for not giving out survivalist bug nets, and he ended up tapping because of the bugs. And maybe he can have a Jamie redemption because Jamie went on XL8, he tapped for the challenge, and then came back for solo and completed the challenge. So it would be cool to see Tim come back and take on a 21-day solo challenge and make it through. I think he can do it. He walked 21 miles in 21 days, and that's a big feat. Next, we have some newbies. We have Delwood, Joe, and Wes. All have expressed an interest in going back. All of them are newbies to the challenge, so why not put them in one of the harshest conditions possible to see if they have what it takes to make it through. If they did, that would be astounding and amazing. And it's not that I don't have faith in their skills. I don't know what their skill levels are, so it'll be interesting to see them put their skills to the test in such a crazy environment. And finally, we have Kelly, who was on the pilot episode for Naked and Afraid with EJ, but unfortunately hasn't been seen since, and I don't know why producers haven't brought her back, but because she's been asking for so long, but they haven't been bringing her back, I don't know if she would be asked back to take on such a harsh environment, but I don't know for sure. I hope she can come back at some point. And with that, the ranking is done. I'm sorry I wasn't able to elaborate as much as I wanted. I tried to keep everyone's time to 30 seconds, but I think Dan and EJ would probably be the safest bets to go back and complete the challenge because of EJ's endurance and Dan's adaptability. Tara has been successful on many challenges and has survived solo quite well, so it would be cool to see Tara go in and attempt that challenge. Chris and Lorraine, they want their full redemption from that challenge. So hopefully if they do go back, they are prepared and will kick butt in this challenge. I really want to see them come back. Chris and Lorraine are great dynamic. Chris is really nice. And with everyone else, it's just very up in the air, but that's just my opinion, and hopefully someone at some point can go back. I would really like if the survivalists were put in locations where it was a little bit easier and not as unsurvivable, where there are enough resources for them to make it all the way through, and it's not just them enduring in the heat on a rock or in the shade somewhere, and that's just my opinion. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and everyone have a nice day/night. Bye-bye! Oh, and also like, comment nice things, subscribe, and click the next video if it's fine. Okay, thank you, bye!